hate it. Hate it with a passion. Can you see that? No, you can't. Then mama, that'd be the end. If we were married, there'd be a divorce. F***ing cold. Welcome back to Irish Outlaw Garage. Me and Zeppy were contemplating as we were walking by the garage. We got no room to do anything. We just put that motor together. It seems to be fine, but it's in our way, so we might as well go ahead and put it in something, don't you think? All right, while it's still warm, let's get to it. Well, what do you suppose we put it in? We can put it in the Omega. We could Chevy swap the Dodge, make it an actual vehicle. There's a Jeep back there.
How about the Chevy?
Which Chevy? That one? Well, let's go take a look at it. This old thing?
Yep.
Alright, let's get out and look at her. Well, this is Amber's 1976 Chevy Cheyenne. It's a C10. It's not the heavy half. But yeah, we picked this thing up pretty cheap. And it needs a few little things, rockers, cab corners. The front fenders are trashed, but you know, it's drivable the way it is. Actually, we can just get the brakes fixed. But a buddy of mine gave me this seat. This thing has all the gauges, tilt, cruise, air, it has it all. But we need to clean this out, and unfortunately, we have to wake up Gutless. Gutless ain't been started in about 5 months. What do you think? You think you'll fire right up?
Maybe.
Maybe? All right, I guess we'll try it. All right, so Zeppy's gonna give this thing a whirl. It may take a little bit to get the fuel up there, but go ahead, bud. Woo! And she ain't got no choke, so this would be fun. Keep going. Gotta keep it going. Boy, look at that terrible clutch fan. Oh, yeah, no big deal. Just it don't have a choke hooked up, so I had to sit there and hold the throttle while he turned it because it's a little far for his feet. But this is Gutless. If you haven't seen him, 455 that I built right there in the garage. This thing's a monster. This is probably the most violent car I own. Should have named this car Wicked. Anyway, let's get him out of the way. Doing a little yard work, got it taken care of. It's moved. Might as well have fun while we're doing it, right? All right, so what we got to do is we got to hook this here Kawasaki up to this here Chevrolet, and we're gonna yank her right through there so we can just back it straight up and push it into the garage. But I can't just push it right into the garage because I got something I got to put down on the ground first. But all right, let's get this sucker hooked up. All right, we're all hooked up. This should be fun. All right, buddy, when you're ready. He's nervous. Usually he's got mom or somebody with him. it's rolling pretty easy, which I guess is a good thing. I just don't want him to get nervous if he has to stop and this thing's gonna hit that thing. I want it to hit it. I don't want it to roll down the hill. Keep going. You're doing great. Okay.
We did it.
Good job, bud.
Can I take it around?
You can take it around, just don't hit nothing.
Okay.
All right. Years old, almost 9.
Was that a good 5-minute experience? Probably, I don't know. But now we got, well, that to be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
All right, we got to set up the floor here. What I mean by the floor, 10. There's my hard floor. That way, the engine stand has something to roll on. Well, let's get the truck up here. Perfect. All right, good job. There. See? Got all that room and metal underneath the wheels when we go do it. And I want to clean this up so I'll have enough room for brakes and get in and out. Plenty of room over here. Well, this thing's filthy. It ain't too cold out today. I really don't want to get it all messy here though. Should we wash it before we do anything? You think?
Plus, I'm the one who moved it in here.
Oh yeah, you're the one who moved it in here. Okay. It's gonna get noisy around here. You're gonna hear that all the time, but that's just the way it is. Podunk white trash. Just kind of going through here, making sure I got everything, but I did notice this. So I got those. I got them at O'Reilly's, and I got 2. We're just gonna put 2 new motor mounts in it. Just kind of going through, seeing what's needed to be gotten. I got a new power steering pressure line coming. I'm gonna have to find a pump and a pulley and the brackets and all that crap. But other than that, I think we're good to go around. Yeah, I think. But I'd love to leave that. That's original, but that's just gonna get in the carb. So we'll take this off too. Yeah, we are. We're gonna take this off. So I think we'll get that off. Get this thing. I don't know. I guess I'll get the pressure washer out since it's decent out, and clean up just a little bit, and then we'll put that motor and trans together. All right, so I got all the insulation off the hood. That stuff is just going to cause problems. Use my last gallon of super clean here. Filled my pressure washer for it, and I'm just gonna give this thing a scrub down. We never have, so. So that'll do, pig. Kind of hard to get all that roof. That sucker was really lichened up. Anyway, she's all cleaned up. About as good as it's gonna get. You get them motor mounts in. Boy, that's a totally different truck. Even with the rust, I like it. It'll be like that for a little while. We are gonna get the parts to fix it. I'm gonna try, but not bad. Okay, so doors closed in the garage. The truck's ready to go. Whenever I decide to go get the motor mounts, I did get new motor mounts. They're already there. I can go grab them. But you can see the door's shut. And I am draining that radiator. Yeah, I'm getting ready to tear this thing down. The plan is, it's already, you know, I think I ran it enough where it's pretty well loaded. So what I'll do is, I'm going to fill this thing half ass up with antifreeze and hook the hoses together. I have a way to do that. That way it keeps some antifreeze in there. Start tearing this thing down, get ready to, you know, put that transmission on there. Spilled a little. There's a lot still left in there in that antifreeze. I only got 1 3/4 jug full, and I used 3. That there ain't gonna amount for crap. So that means there's a lot stuck in the motor, and that's just fine. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I went ahead and ordered the right pulleys. I got the power steering stuff all coming. This stuff was cheap. It's just stamped steel, Chinesium. But plan is to put air conditioning on this, so I had to make sure I get the double pulleys for this and the power steering pump. I have a power steering pump, so yeah. I think we're tore down well enough that I think we may be able to take her down off the stand and hook it to that transmission. So I had to come in. My God, did it get cold? That thing is screaming, and it's doing its job. It feels good in here now. Can run around without a jacket on if I wanted to. Taking it apart, looking at things. There's no, that don't look to be anything oily in any of the cylinders. So I think we're good as far as the seals go. So yeah, now we just got to get her down off that stand and hook her to the transmission. This is all easy stuff, guys. The main video's coming when we start putting it in that thing, which I got to go pick up some stuff for it too. All right, got the water pump all painted up, rebuilt all the brackets and things, and did get this to fit. I had to take off these damn things to get that to fit. I still may put a different intake on this. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, so that's that. Morning. Well, time to get this here 350 off the stand, get it down. We're gonna get this new torque converter I got from O'Reilly's. Using them before, they work great. Power torque. We're going to fill that thing, go put it in the transmission. You can't see it because if I tilted you down, you'd see nothing but drums, and who wants to see that? By the way, I got you over by the heater so you stay warm because it is cold as hell outside. So I thought, why not? Today's a perfect day, being as cold as it is, to mount these two together and then stab it in that C10 out there. Yeah, it's wet and nasty. Should be a good time. So let's just get this thing off the stand, then we'll get her down on the ground, make these two together, and then we got to go outside and work in the wetness for a little while. So here we go. I think our you hear that? Good Lord. We got gas in the oil. Yeah, that's what it does. Look at how hot that is. Holy shit. Yeah, we need to crank that down a little bit. I don't want to burn the place down. But yeah. And she's a little angry, is what she is. She's off the stand. I just got to get the stand out of the way. I'll probably throw it outside, and then we'll get down over here and we'll get these two mated together. So first, we got to fill that torque converter that is right there. Most of the time, if I got an old transmission or something, I'll use house brand stuff. I don't bother, but this TH350 right here was built by my buddy Tony. This is actually the TH350 out of Dalton at Pole Barn Garage. This is his old farm truck transmission. I already had the transmission from this truck out, and we knew it was bad, so I took it to Tony. He rebuilt it, and then me and Zeppelin drove that over to Dalton's Pole Barn Garage to put in Silver Dollar Chevy. That's actually where this transmission went, is in his Silver Dollar Chevy. And this one was the one he took out of his farm truck and was thinking about putting it in Silver Dollar Chevy, but it was junk. So this is that one. All we did was convert it, you know, Tony just converted it to a short, you know, tail shaft instead of the, you know, nothing on there for four-wheel drive, you know, for a transfer case. So, but this is brand spanking new. Built by my buddy, and I'm running out of room around here. There we go. So I went ahead and bought the Valvoline because that's what Tony suggested, and I'm going to listen to the guy with years and years and years of experience. So you want to get this thing full. May take a couple times. It's bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. It's good. Get her good and full. Okay. And we're just gonna try to do this without making a mess. Boom. Got her through the seal. There's 1, 2. Did we get 2? There it is. There's 3. She's in there. Okay, so I didn't have a bunch of new ones, but I found a bunch of my old schools. I think these came out of the Pontiac or something, maybe, when I took it apart. But I'll use these. They look great. They're still clean. I don't have to do nothing to them. I just throw a lock washer on it. The reason I do that, I just feel like it'll hold it in there a little bit, you know, a little bit better. But a lot of times you don't do that. You just ram the bolts in. But sometimes you can ram them all the way in, and that's how you get them stuck. You know, when you go to try to take them apart again. So we'll just use the old ones. This one's always a son of a bitch. Oops, rounded it off. That's that. So now let's lift this thing up in the air. And I always get a little leery doing it like this. I used to have hooks that I would put on the intake, run it across. This way's much better. I trust this. I'm just not real sure about the intake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get her up in the air and just kind of let her hang, get some weight, make sure this is going to go, because the last thing I want to do is drop this motherfucker on a goddamn truck. Then mama, that'd be the end. If we were married, there'd be a divorce. I don't want to mess up the inside front, the grill and everything of that truck, because boy, that thing is pristine, except for it's missing the Chevy symbol, which, you know, I'll just go root around out here by the septic tank and find the Chevy symbol. Moving on. These are all bolt in, you know. They do not bolt into the torque converter, which Chevy. Put the bolt in from this side. Make sure you get your nut in there. It's kind of hard to see on the camera because, you know, I'm a terrible instructor. this is a lot easier to do right here than it is laying underneath the truck, that's for damn sure. Here in a second, I'm going to put the headers back on it, and we're going to try to get these motor mounts in, because you know, I may have to work on the motor mount a little bit to get it to fit. Sometimes they don't fit right. Oh yeah, that's it. Transmission attached. The header's all on the way it's supposed to be. They fit perfect. China stainless. I'm sure they'll discolor and stuff as it goes, but you know, it looks okay when it does that. Here's my clamshells, and you can't really see it well on camera. You can see my 3 holes, and this is not gonna go up in there. That's what I suspected. That's why I thought, no, we better fit these before we put them in. I didn't even think about it, but we're gonna have to lose part of this clamshell. We'll just take this corner out and hope for the best. Yeah, while I'm doing all this in between, I turn music on, because that's my favorite thing to do, is listen to music while I'm working. But you can't on YouTube, because you know, everybody wants a piece, rightfully so, on stuff like this though. I mean, that's on Aaron Lewis's album. That's his daughter singing that song, and it's probably way better version than those Dixie whatevers. Anyway, what I did is I set this up on there, and I just took me a gold marker that I had, and I just kind of roughly made a thing. So I'm going to use my cutter to cut me out a section, and I'll just keep going until I know it's going to fit perfect, and when the motor moves, it ain't going to hit. And no, I am not putting a dent in those headers. Not that close to the exhaust port. I'm just not doing it. Like, you can do anything you ever want to say about it doesn't, you know, affect the exhaust and this, that, it. Any kind of hump or restriction is a restriction. You can't tell me otherwise. Yes, I've had to put dents in headers and stuff like that, but I'm more the person that's going to move whatever the hell's there, because I want the most performance out of this. You can tell me they did tests in this show and that show and all that crap. No, that's not real world. Why do you think when you see drag cars, they're wide open? You need that as much air movement. It's an air pump. Any restriction is gonna render that air squeezed. Is that, I don't know how to explain it, because I'm getting pissed off by talking about it. Anyway, let's just cut this thing, and that way we don't have to do anything to our pretty exhaust. There. Ran it on the old bench grinder, flattened it out, made sure there's no cracks, because just weld them on. But yeah, now she fits perfect. So that one's done, so I'm gonna paint it up. Let's get this other one on here. One's the devil, and one keeps driving me insane. That's the difference between whiskey and you. Okay. No fabrication needed. She fits perfectly. Just like that. Dang it. I like doing pissed off fabrications. The other one turned out super good. I think I'm gonna have to get on the extra clothes, and we got to get the motor mounts changed in that old girl. Oh boy. About 15 bucks. Went ahead and got 2. There's only one that's really bad, but if you're gonna change them, man, just change them both. The hood's still on this thing. I know I am gonna have to take it off, put the motor in, but for now, if it starts raining, I got a roof over my head. I tried my little whirler. I gotta bring out the big one. I may have to get out the air. This sucker's on there. There it went. Boom. Sure don't lose my nut. Oh, lost my nuts. Lost my nuts. Okay, they're all out. Now, the right thing to do would be and paint her black, but we're just gonna let it eat. I'll wipe it off a little bit, like so. Looks good. Double check, make sure there's no ifs, ands, or buts on the hows and whats, and we just put her back together. One changed. Bad motor mount. And there we go. 2 bolts here, one down there. There's 2 sections. I think the lower one's for I don't know if it's for big block or 6-cylinder. Might be either one. Oh, I don't know. But I'm in here. So I've just been checking things out. Everything looks just fine. Got to replace this yet. This won't be in though for a while, so that's going to be the least of our worries. We'll just make sure we get everything nice and neat. I was in here looking at all the brake lines. All the brake lines look fantastic. Nothing to worry about there. Even the fuel line looks good. So, let me get out of here. Think about getting this hood off of here. Besides this, my back's starting to friggin' hurt. Well, she's all ready to go. I took the headers off because I got to looking at it. I'm like, yeah, it might be easier to stick it in there and then put the headers in it. So there's my little job I did for that. That's going to be just fine. I actually had the bolts out of the 402 that were perfect for the motor mounts on this. I got her stripped down to bare nothing. Only two open holes, one right there and one right there. Other than that, everything's covered up. That's facing down. Did go ahead and put my transmission checker tubey thing in, and it's nice and tall that we can reach it. I'm gonna leave the starter on it. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. Put all this over here on this radiator so to ruin it. I didn't have any metal that I wanted to use, so I'm just using my old plyboard that seems to I've had that thing for 15 years. But hood's off. Aiden helped me get the hood off. It's over there. Other than that, I think we are ready. This really is an extreme way to put a motor in, but I don't have any other way, guys. I don't have a shop. Maybe you don't have a shop. Maybe you just got grass. I remember putting a motor in. My first motor that I ever installed, I did it off of my basketball pole with a come along. I didn't have an engine hoist when I was 15, 14, whatever. That's what I had. Use what you have around you. Now, let's get this door open so we can go freeze our ass off outside. Now, nice and easy. There. The jack should slide with it. Oh yeah. Whoa. she's about right where she needs to be. Oh, little off. Need to bring that jack up a little more. About there. Looking on the other side. Oh yeah, we're right on the money, y'all. New motor mounts. New motor mounts. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Oh! What'd that go to? That? Of course it does. It's for a later date. Oh yeah, let's get a bolt in it. Well, alright. She's in. I just took my little claw bar thing, and that's the perfect size, and I just lined it up on this side, got it underneath, lined it up on this side. Good to go. Got the nut on the back. Did not tighten it. I am not tightening it. I'm gonna let it settle. I just realized, because I'm learning, that I'm gonna have to take that starter back off whenever I go to put the headers in it. I think the headers will fit just fine, but I am gonna have to take that starter off. Not a big deal. It's 2 bolts, quick and easy. But before we do any of that shit, we're gonna put this transmission mount and crossover in. Look at all that came out of there. See, I told you I had her full, and I locked her up, and there's some in there, so that way, you know, we don't get a broken motor that's already broken, but not quite broken enough. So all right, let's get that cross member in there. Cross member installed. All the bolts, not just part of them. I actually did the ones up on the frame underneath, you know, brand new. Everything worked. Everything fit right into place. So most of the time I spent finding fucking bolts, because this guy that took this apart, he did real good with keeping bolts, but I don't know what the hell happened to him. But well, that's all installed. I'm just sitting here going through things, making sure what I need. And while I was under there, I thought, oh, I'll hook up that speedometer while I'm at it. Well, no, because this cable's gone. I did find this in the back, which really sucks, because that's the radiator top support. I ordered one because I couldn't find this. Lo and behold, it was underneath a bunch of leaves. Thank God I didn't order that. I could make one otherwise. That's for the, you know, your vacuum to your transmission. So I got that. Starter's on. Motor mount bolts still ain't tight. I ain't tightening them down till absolutely necessary. But I think that's it. Everything else I have. However, I am gonna have to address this. So before we get ready to drive, I'll just change that out. All the U-joints seem okay, but that carrier, that's junk. So I gotta get one of them ordered. Won't be too expensive. They're easy to change. So truth is, this one come from the bottom. Went ahead and took the oil dipstick out. Took number 5 plug out, and it slid right over the top. Got up in there like a damn spider monkey and tightened her up. Ain't much to see there other than me just sitting in there and tightening bolts. See if we can get the other one in there. So I actually got some help going on. Got Aiden behind the camera. He don't like being on the camera, but he don't mind being, you know, behind it. So you can actually see what I'm doing. He can get down in here and do things that I can't do because I've only got 2 hands. So this one is a problem one, and this one is a problem one. You can't get them with the ratchet. I'm gonna have to get them with the wrench, and that's fine. You just get these two as tight as humanly possible. This one here should go right in. Yep, see, I can turn it with my fingers. I didn't have to move anything here. I don't like how close that is to that frame, but I am not going to dent my headers. I think that is just dumb. Header manufacturers, you should probably make headers that actually fit. Considering there's 15 gazillion different Chevys, it shouldn't be real hard to make something that fits. And you don't have to move or dent or anything. I don't understand that. Alright. Keep going here. I might as well just keep going with my hand because I'm going to retorque them anyway with my hand. So, there you have it. Done. Yep. There you go. That's alright. We got this. Alright. You holding? Yep. Alright. Well, I think that's going to button it up for me for this weekend, or at least today. I buttoned up a few little things, put the shifter linkage in, just made sure everything was there, kind of did a once over to make sure I have everything I need coming, and I'm going to finish that little fun joyride here in a little while. I'm going to call O'Reilly's, try to get a few things. Yeah, she's in there. That's a long way for that motor. That motor was neglected to being in here, to getting all put together, to running, and now we got it in the truck. So next time you see me, we'll be setting more stuff on this so we can get it running. So I'll see you in a few. Hey, morning, welcome back. It's a week later and it turned winter, like worse than winter that it used to be winter. Now it's winter. It's like minus 10 wind chill, whatever. I'm in here in my shop. Been burning my stove for a little while to get her warmed up. It's working. But the old Chevy, she's right outside that window. But there's a few things I'm gonna get going here before we go outside and freeze our ass off. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing. A couple things. My LMC order come in. Just rubbers for the rad. There's the upper support for the rad, which turns out I didn't need, but hey, we got a brand new one. It wasn't that expensive. And yes, got a fan shroud. Fits the radiator I actually have here, so I'm going to use that radiator. I do not have the clips. I forgot all about that. The clips that mount this on the bottom. But we'll figure something out. We just need it to work for now. I can reorder those later. But here's what I'm doing for right now. That son of a bitch. Yep. So what we need to do is we got to get this. I already took this off. It came off fairly easy. You can see all the, there's my Teflon. So what I need to do is, I've already got this marked, and I'm probably just gonna cut this off. I don't have a press, and I don't have a claw big enough to get this, so I may just have to get the big torch out and, you know, slide her off, and because I need that to test for the right bearing. And I'm missing a cap, so I'm gonna have to get me a new damn U-joint, and that's always fun. Oh, let's see where we're at here. Can you see that? No, you can't. Cut it off without damaging it, so I know the exact size. Holy shit! It come right off. Wow, okay. Nice thing is it being so cold, this ought to expand it pretty damn quick. Just like that. We don't need no special shit. We get that right, we'll get it all off. I'll go to the store and get us a new one. and we'll heat it up here. Well, I don't know. I may get a pipe. You can just blast that thing back on there. That thing looks good. So we'll get that, a few other things, and then we'll head outside. It's cold in here. You should feel it outside. Ah, damn. All right, I gotta go to town, which means cold start time because all I got is hot rods. So battery died in the middle of this, but I did get this U-joint out. I did it the wrong way, you know. Didn't damage nothing. Everything looks great. Just so happens I have a number 369 right there that fits it. That was actually for the Javelin. I took that on Power Tour last year just in case, because I got a bad U-joint and I said to hell with it and ran it anyway. So we got a U-joint. Now we just go get the bearing, power steering pump, power steering lines that are all there, and we can start. We'll put this back together and then we'll go outside in the cold. Ain't that gonna be fun? So I'm gonna go to the store. You behave. Don't burn the place down. I'll be back. This one has the best heat. I wonder what she'll do. Curiosity kills a cat. And the trespasser. Let's go ahead and turn everything on. Give her a couple pumpers. Uh-oh. Come on, baby. Come on. No way. Ha! But what do we got for wipers? Oh yeah. Well, come on, girl. Come on. You really need you need to gain. Come on now. Oh, there it is. Come on. Woo, I need to use lighter oil. I am going to be switching oil, guys, to something else. Come on. Come on. You know you want it. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Took her right off. Just like a Buick. I better get a little gasohol in this thing. So this is done. New U-joint on it. There's the cat. Oh, yeah, shit. I gotta clean this off yet. That's in place. Honestly, guys, I didn't show it on video. I was in a hurry and my battery went dead too, so whatever. But I just used a punch. Just nightly went all the way around it. In no way did I use anything ridiculous, but it's on there. It spins freely. Make sure everything spins freely before you stick it all back in. But I just remembered something. I was just at the parts store and I don't think I have any U-bolts. You know, the little thing, keepers for the rear. Shit, I'm gonna have to run and get some. I'll look under the truck. Maybe he put them back in it. You never know. But I didn't see any anywhere, so I'll have to look for those. Well, wasn't that awful nice of him? The straps are in it. That kicks ass a lot. Yeah, so that's all in. But that is in fact not the right U-joint. It is too short, so I gotta run back to town, of course. Alright, let's do the update thing. I went ahead and got these in. Transmission lines, inline tube, they fit pretty good, other than I had to, you know, you gotta make your own bends. I did get the bottom radiator hose on because I'm gonna fill this thing with antifreeze. I'm not gonna press any more luck than I already have. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the upper two. I'm gonna fill this thing up until it starts coming out of there. Yeah, and then I'll close that off with the actual what you call it. I'm a little out of my mind right now because it is fucking cold. Okay, got a little bit of an owie. We're just putting together. The drive shaft is in. Unfortunately, it wasn't the U-joint that was bad. It was the right U-joint. The yoke back there is shot. So I'm going to have to order another one. Got it in there temporarily. It'll work. I just got to put this thing all back together. That's where we're at. So let me keep going. Okay, so it is fucking cold. I've been just going crazy, and every time I put my camera outside to, you know, film what I'm working, it don't take long, and the heat of the camera mixes with the cold, and she starts to just fog over. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait probably till tomorrow to do any more filming outside, because this thing, it ain't liking it. But I'm gonna do a quick show of what I've got done. You know, we ain't got much to go. Wiring is gonna be a son of a bitch. All right, before this thing fogs over, alternator brackets are all on. I got the power steering pump and the new pulley and all that stuff ready to go. Went ahead and put the thermostat in here, sucked her back down. She's full of fluid all the way up to here, so the motor is full of antifreeze. It had antifreeze in it, but not enough. But look at this shit. It cut the wires. So I got to figure out what goes to what. I'll just look me up a schematic, not a big deal. Went ahead and got this hooked up. I still had it from this truck, and that's how it was. Goes down to your modulator on transmission. Besides the wiring, fans on, everything's tight there. Got the bottom shroud, fits perfectly. This hose down here, I don't like how that fits. I'm gonna have to work on that, but it's okay. Transmission lines are tight, nothing's hitting. I gotta hook up the fuel system yet. There's the upper hose. All we got left to do here is carb and wires. So, and the other thing I had to do is I had to get this. That's the power steering return, and it was already boogered. I didn't know it was already boogered. But believe it or not, O'Reilly's got one coming. It'll be here tomorrow afternoon. So that's the last of my worries anyway. I'm only worried about turning the pump for now. If that comes in and I got time and it ain't too cold, I'll stick it on there. Put this on there. I got to tighten this, and that's it. I just got to get the wiring done. But like I said, this thing, I can see it. It's going to fog up soon. I can feel it. So that's going to be it for now. This is all just buttoning up, and of course I'm doing this, have no idea how it came apart, but so far so good. So I'll probably see you tomorrow. Welcome back. It's the next day, and it's even colder than it was yesterday. So I've been running around outside trying to get parts together. The power steering pump I got, not the right power steering pump for the pulley. It's the right power steering pump for the truck, but not for the new pulley I got. And guess what? The one they want for that pump is like $90. No, not gonna happen. So I went out to our Chevelle, our 73 Chevelle that we're gonna work on later in the year, and stole the power steering off of it. It's actually the pump that matches the pulley I have, but it don't need a new pulley. So I just pulled the pulley off, and I'm gonna put this new fancy Chinesium whatever bracket system so we can put the power steering on there. That'll be done, and I think I got the wiring figured out, but let's get this bracket put on. It's actually not bad in here. I got the stove is stoked. Matter of fact, I had it so hot in here that I had the jet flames coming out of the stack again, so that was kind of fun. So let me get this on here. Well, I had to switch cameras. I overloaded my card and didn't think about it. So let me show you where we're at, and then I gotta show you something real quick. But she's all cleaned up, looks good. not a big deal. Got my paint warming up because it was a little chilly. This is high gloss, semi-gloss. I'm going to use the high gloss. But when I came over here, I noticed, oh my God, this thing's like taking off. It is so hot right now. And it has flames shooting. Ooh, that's too damn hot. I had to turn it down because there were flames shooting out the bottom. Meaning flames were going down. It was so much of a ball in there. It was going down through the vent that feeds the fire and coming out the bottom. I was like, oh, that's good. Well, just all this oily shit, no big deal, you know, not a big deal. But I calmed it down. It is hot, and I may turn that fan up a little bit to get her to blow her down to the ground, because I'm working on the ground. It's freaking cold now. So I'm just letting that thing heat up, and then I'm going to spray paint that black, and then we'll start getting the bracket thing put on. So we'll be back in a bit. So I've been rebuilding, putting new seals, new bearings, new everything. This thing is gonna just be perfect. Probably not gonna happen, but I'm putting just enough on it that it'll try to grab and, you know, stay, because I'm sure this is gonna leak like hell, and there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, I know it's gonna leak, but I want it to at least look nice. Everything else on that engine looks fantastic. I've even considered now maybe upgrading the intake and stuff on it, but I don't know. We'll see. So there's one side. We'll let that dry. That's good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and put the paint back over by the smoky stove. If you're wondering why it's so smoky in here, it's because I dropped some oil. See it smoking? That's on the top. That's how hot this is, guys. There's a little bit of oil right here, and it's dissipating. It's burning. I'm going through a lot of oil too, though. That's the downfall when it's this cold out. It's like minus 25 in wind chill, and yeah, it's taking a lot. So we'll just let that dry, and I'll get back with you after a bit. All right, so what I'm gathering out of this piece of shit is this goes here. There's a spacer behind there. It comes with a kit with these bolts. This bolts onto right here, so I already have them tight. I know that's where it goes, and I'm gonna imagine this goes here somehow ish, and then this little spacer will go here. Does that sound right? I don't know. We won't know until we get it in there. So alrighty then. The only reason I'm not using the pulley system that was on it, this is it right here, is because I'm missing the other piece of metal that goes to the block. I don't know what I did with it. Well, I know I didn't have anything to do with it being gone, but I checked in the Malibu or the Chevelle and it's gone. So another day, maybe we'll try to find, you know, something, but this will work. I think it'll work. I got a basic idea how it goes on there, and there's my new pulley, so it'll be nice. It'll look nice. It's gonna leak. I still got to paint the bottom, but nobody sees that anyway, right? Warmed up a little bit out here, enough to just notice. So I think I got her figured out. So these two spacers down in there, those are the spacers, 1 and 2, and it's 2 of the bolt holes on the block, actually. I didn't know that. And this will go up here somehow. I don't know, because that's gonna have to have a bolt. That's all the way through. So what that don't even fit right. That's not, that ain't gonna work. God damn it. It ain't gonna work. It can't. Because this has to be lined up. That is not lined up. I know goddamn well that ain't lined up. See? Look at that. Look at that. Ain't no way. That's not even close. And it can't, that ain't gonna work. What the friggin' frig? Let me look at this a little more. A little update. So my new pulley doesn't fit right. It doesn't line up. This one, I think once we tighten her down, it'll be right where it needs to be. This is the old one. This bracket, once it's up against this, look how far apart that is. I don't know if you can see that. These brackets up against the pump like they're supposed to be. The rest of the pump is tight. So you can see the gap, right? It's not just too bad. I mean, the problem is this is the other spacer they gave. Now, I don't know about you, but if you look real close, you can see that that's totally not gonna work. And they only gave me 2 spacers, one with the bracket that goes on the back to make that an even spot, and that one right there. Well, guess what? That's too big. So what I'm gonna do is I figured out this is better. You can see the difference there. But this is still too big, so I'm gonna put this in my vice grips and get to the bench grinder and grind her down until she fits. Already got the bolt ready, and I'm gonna have to put a bolt with a nut on the back of that, because I think they're thinking that this is gonna have the bolt-in top up here, and it does not. So I have to put my own bolt in it. Just another damn thing. Let me go grind this down. This is bullshit. Pay money for something better fit. Okay, let's try it. Well, with a little hope and a prayer, I got it. I had to go back, and that nut is about half its size. What I did was I just kept eyeballing it till I got it to where it was about where I think it was. And of course I had to put a bolt all the way through, so I cut that down to fit. I'm gonna change that up though, because I do want a lock washer or something on there that allows me to get that loose. Know what I mean? Yeah, so that's gonna suck. But nice thing is you can get a wrench right through there to get to it, and it's not in the block. That's why I had to cut it down. But everything looks straight. Put the pulley back on, everything's lined up, and now we need to clean this up and get it painted. That way it looks halfway decent too, and that should be my pulley system. I'll go back inside and warm up just a hair, because it's cold. But also, god damn, it's cold. If you look up here, you can see how hot and clean my oil burner is running. Look at that. All you see is the heat. No smoke. So that's still drying ever so slowly. I was putting all the hoses on the power steering, and I thought, you know, this one, it didn't like going on because it's a little stiff. It's cold, so there. Just like that. We'll just heat her up. I got to go to town and get my little inlet outlet thing that goes back to the power steering pump. But at least I can get it on the power steering pump and ran and directed and all that crap. So yeah, I'm just letting the old holes heat up. You know, it's the whole reason I put this together, was just so I could heat my hose. Back from the parts store, that's what they ordered. I mean, it's exactly what I need, except I went through all that trouble of putting the hose on, and well, this one comes with a hose. Couple other things, I did not have an air cleaner. Took back the power steering pump, so basically that was nothing. Got me some stuff to hook up my starter and all the stuff you need to hook this up to a Chevy with the Edelbrock. And let's go ahead and get that on so we can put it back together and be done with it. I don't think we're going to get her started today. It's too late in the day and it is getting super cold. Super freaking cold. Well, she's in there. I just went ahead and put that way there'll be no open holes. It looks like it might. I don't like that bolt. That's for damn sure. But we'll have to see whenever we get the belt in here and stuff. But okay, I got all the stuff I need, but unfortunately I am worn the hell out. Worn out. It's cold. I've been out here all day. That's enough. I'm gonna go spend some time with the family. Motor looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this air cleaner on there to cover up that hole. I'll put a plug over the inlet for the carb. Not that there's gonna be any mud daubers around right now, but I gotta work tomorrow and I ain't started my truck today, so I'm gonna go out and start my semi, see what it sounds like. Oh, I've had her plugged in quite a while. I guarantee she's not happy. Let's see how unhappy she is. Oh, girl. Yeah, she's not happy. Too bad mosquitoes ain't out worth the kill. Holy shit. And there it is. I still gotta, this has to go over to this side. I gotta get a bunch of stuff, but I just wanted all the holes plugged, and they are plugged. This sucker's just back there a chugging, but that's how it is. It's cold. I'm gonna let her run for a while and leave her plugged in. But anyway, I've had enough for today. I'll see you in just a minute, but hopefully it's warmer. Well, good morning. How's it going? It's the next weekend, because in the middle of the week my semi broke down. I was off and I had to work on it. You can watch that video probably like right there somewhere. Yeah, it's a video about me working on my work, and I hate it with a passion, because I used to do that before I drove them, and I hate it. Okay, so what we got going on today is you guessed it, it's back to freezing ass cold. Like, my toes are numb, my hands hurt. It's bad. It sucks, but that's just the way it is. Got my heater stoked up in here. I had to run the salamander for a little while because it taking that thing a while to get going. I need to clean it. What we get to do today is do some wiring, finish up the cooling system, put the gauges all in, make sure they all work, and try to start it. That's it. So let's get to it. Yeah, it's cold. So we're gonna see if this big camera will hold on. Anyway, I got this all figured out. This right here, this goes to the fuel sending unit. This right here is the main power to the system. This, I believe, is the starter wire. Thinking that that's too small to be a starter wire, and it seems to be hanging on to the alternator. That's your ignition. This is oil. This is the old temperature. Now there's wire coming out of there. I don't know what the hell that is. All I know is my main ones are right here, so I got to put a new end on this one, new end on this one. This gets to go down, and you can see right there, I don't know if you can see that or not, there's a wire hanging. That right there goes to the fuel sending unit. So we'll just start putting these on, and I got an extension wire for this, put our end on that for the distributor. That should be it. So let me get cracking on this. That's a, oh boy, I hate to do it to that. That's a, I believe, a fusible link, but it can go bye-bye. In case you're wondering, yeah, That's what it is right now. Minus 11 wind chill. But we're going to keep going. Things got to get done. Okay, so ground wire, non-permanent ground wire is right there. I don't like putting it on here. I don't know. Scratched up my new paint. It's fine. Still not sure what this goes to. I guess we'll find out. I know it has something to do with the alternators. Probably that, whatever these two wires. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm too cold. But I got main power. There's my starter. There's my, that goes to the fuel sending. And this is my ignition. Should be ready to hook up. So let me do some hooking up. And it's cold as hell. I'm having to go inside and come back out. This battery is freezing to death, so it just keeps going dead. So I'm going to do as much as I can on camera, okay? Which means none, because the battery's about to pop there. Things are cold. It's cold as hell. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to run to town to O'Reilly's and get the alternator. That way I can just go ahead and hook that up and be done with it. I also am going to get maybe a little more propane, because before I go trying to start this, I'm going to heat that thing up as much as I can, because, you know, it's 11 below. And it's got 2050 in it, which is bad. That's not good, because it's cold as hell. So we're going to have to put that salamander under there, like I used to do with my semi before I had a plug-in, you know. You had to do what you had to do. You just take your piece of cardboard, shove it up underneath there, and then you just run that salamander to it, and it'll go up and it'll heat that motor up real good. And this thing keeps fogging up. You can see it. It's cold. Cold. So let me run to town, grab that alternator, a few little odds and ends, and I'll be back. I'll be damned if the sun didn't come out and it's warming up. Weird. Alright, I gotta get this old alternator out of here. This was just for mock-up, that's all it was. That piece of junk probably works. Hell, I don't know. That's a Wilson 90-01-3125. Basically, use these if you want to convert something from 6-volt. A lot of people use these for their 8, 9-inch, 2-inch tractors, like the one I got over there that's still 6-volt. Damn. There. Yep, lined up. She's good to go. I think so. Then we got to deal with wiring, but first let's pick up my mess. Well, alternator is hooked up. This is all, you know, I got to run things right, but it's there. And I got all the wires that need to go down. They're hooked to the starter down there. I got the oil line hooked up, because if I try to turn this over, I don't want it blowing oil all over everywhere. I'm gonna put the hose clamps on it just in case. I'm not gonna run the, I guess should be fine, because I'm not gonna try to turn the water pump yet. But. Okay, got my battery installed. Ground is hooked to ground, and this little ground wire here was to the, that's your chassis ground for lights and all that crap. Went ahead and hooked that up. No belts yet, so I'm not going to worry about that upper. I went ahead and put this on there just in case there might be some fuel down in there, so that way it'll catch it here. Oil pressure thing is in. That isn't staying that way, guys, don't worry. I'm just gonna try to turn it. Let's see if we got power hooked up the way it's supposed to be hooked up. That's what we're doing here. So I haven't tried this yet. You'll know real quick if you got the power hooked up. Is the key on? It sure is. That's a blower motor. That's blower motor. Let's set some shit off. All right. Yeah, it was on. Well, we got no booms or anything like that. It's all the more I want that on there. Let's sit here and wait. I don't hear anything. Here's my, make sure nothing's touching anything. No smoke. No smoke. Oh hell, that was the wipers. I think it was the wipers that were going up. Key on. That's the... We got wipers. Everything's off. Oh! Do I have the start on correctly? Oh, I do. Heck yeah. Got the belts on. One was too small. The one I put on there is too big. Get all the fluids topped off. It'll work. Going for 2. Oh. Thank you, buddy. Seppi's out here. It's warming up pretty good. Crap out of the way. So there's my spaghetti monster. But no, that's not saying that way. I just need to get it, right. But the cap's cracked, so I got to get a different cap and change all that yet. Did get all this on. It's perfect. That'll work. So let me get a different cap, and then we'll hook up that fuel system. We'll be ready to go. Those wires fit a certain way, but right now I'm sliding around. My back hurts from leaning. So we're just going to get her running the way she is. Let me get a cap on there. Well, folks, it's that time. Everything's hooked up. I got fuel hooked up to my boat tank because we don't know about that tank back there yet. All the wires are spaghettied in. It's fine. I'm gonna change that. I just don't want to deal with that right now. This is tight, not full of fluid, but wires are on. Make sure they ain't touching anything. So I think it's time to start this old beast. See what she'll do, huh? You ready? Here we go. Now, shouldn't have to do much for fuel. It should pump right up. I hope. I do have the power steering full, got the transmission full now, but obviously it's going to be low once it starts pumping. See if we get this thing pumping some fuel. Alright, we got fuel. Let's try her out. No choke. Oh, girl. Well, it flew off. Fan shroud. Yeah, fan shroud. Part 2. remember we ain't got no brakes, so I'm gonna chalk the wheels real quick. That'll do, pig. Well, y'all, other than some buttoning up and a battery tray, we'll get this shroud all figured out. We'll get the wires ran correctly. And this thing is leaking, of course, you Spectra piece of shit. So I'll be ordering a different one of those. It leaks. Other than that, we gotta jack this thing up and get the power steering bled. It's there. I know we didn't take it for a drive, but hey, we're gonna take it for a drive next time. So I'm gonna get the brake stuff ordered for this, so we get some brakes in this beast. And I gotta get a different yoke for that rear end. That yoke is worn out. I don't want to drive it any further than right here. That's not something that has to be done right now. We'll get a little bit of fuel in that fuel tank, see if we can't suck something through it, see what comes through. It may be empty. Don't know. I don't know. Probably gonna go ahead and readjust the valves too while it's in here. Sounds fine, but I still like to do that. I got a set of valve covers that I cut the tops of them off. That way oil don't fly everywhere and I can get in there and do it like my dad used to do it. Back her till she clicks, bring her till she stops, go a quarter. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it. The motor that should not be in a truck that was forgotten and ready for the scrapyard. But we're gonna put her back on the road right here on Irish Outlaw Garage. Take care. Zeppy wants to give it a start. Go ahead, buddy. Starts up perfectly. Give her a couple revs, man.